So the first step in the workflow for getting age-rated premiums built out is going to be to gather census data. So we have to have a common form to be able to gather census information. And it's important because we're going to use that same census to map against different rate tables to calculate premiums. So it ensures that we are using the exact same information for all of the quotes that we're going to build out. And what we noticed was there are inconsistencies between the carriers. So in some instances, we were seeing carriers that were calculating employee ages based on the date the quote was run instead of the effective date, which was really altering what the total premiums were going to look like. So by maintaining our own census that we're going to use to map rate tables against, it eliminates all of those inconsistencies. So the key is we're going to use this census and pair that up with the rate tables from the various carriers and the plans we want to quote to calculate employee independent premiums for each plan. So in order to gather that, we obviously are going to need both employee and dependent information. And you can see below the format that we capture that census information. The key is that it's what we would consider a row-based census, where each member occupies a row in the spreadsheet. So as opposed to where some may be using a column-based census, where each employee gets its own row and each dependent value is in a column, those are a little trickier to be able to convert into the row-based format. You'll notice we'll capture their name, ID. We have employer dependent. We still are going to work with enrollment types. Gender and smoker are optional fields. And you'll also notice at the end we're going to enter a date of birth, and the 118 there on the age has to do with the formula that will match that date of birth up with the effective date. So we are always calculating the age based on that effective date that we enter in that field. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how we're going to gather that census information. And in the next step, we will look at how we're going to combine that with rate tables to calculate premiums.